Free.
What's up? What's up? What's
How
up?
y'all doing out there?
This is
QUE2 Real.
this is Rich Mel. Hey, we live, Black Ink Radio. You feel me? And this is Real Talk,
Hear me?
where we talk about real topics.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying?
You heard me?
You
All day,
did.
every day, barbershop shit, beauty parlor talk. We don't want to hear the politically correct shit because we don't really care about that in the hood. We be talking about
We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck.
Get a cool book. Nah, but for real, I mean, as we come to you tonight, what we talking about is these young men and these young ladies that
I have children.
Yeah, having children and falling out with the baby mother. And it, you know, I know some sperm donors and I know some egg donors, right? And when we say that, those are the bitches and the niggas that's toxic. Because they don't really give a fuck about nothing but the pumps that they left or the dick that they left behind. You get what I'm saying? Real talk.
That's real. Because a lot of people, you know, they don't make it about the kid. They make it more so about the person they was dealing with. And then that's how they deal with the kid based off of the person they was dealing with. And that's fucked up.
So how you know you're dealing with a toxic person or a toxic individual that is and was your piece? They was sliding and riding down the pole. They was having a good old time.
That's graphic.
It's graphic. It's real talk though. But I'm saying because your biggest hater will be somebody that done sucked you all the way down.
Huh? I feel like for me personally, you know, when you're dealing with somebody kind of toxic, when you're talking to them and the answers don't make sense.
And it's never about you.
Right.
It's never about the kid. It's about you.
No, it's never about what you're talking about. Because if you're talking to them, because we talking about, you know, the topic today is about good or bad baby fathers and baby mothers. So it's like when you're separated and you're trying to co-parent, and the conversation's about the kid, but the answers you're asking about your kid, but the answers are not making sense because the answers about you and them. And me, that's toxicity.
That's so very real because guess what? I don't got nothing to do with what this kid is doing. Right?
Or what this kid needs.
This kid needs. So as we get into that, one of my first questions, outside of whether or not you know, how you know if they toxic, if they telling you, where your boyfriend at? Where Tyrone? Yo, where's Shorty at? I thought you was fucking with her. What they got to do with these children?
With this
child. Why are you bringing them up in a conversation that we having about our kid?
Yeah.
Don't call nobody out that's getting this right now.
Well, look, let's reverse a little bit, right? Because I think I said it wrong.
Yeah.
The topic you said was the importance of having a good. What was it? Say.
So, how do you know if you're dealing with somebody that's good or bad? A good or bad baby father, or good or bad
and the importance of having a good or bad baby mother, baby father, right? The
importance of it is just co-parenting, right? Because co-parenting means that we are doing whatever it takes together to make sure that the needs of this child, right? It's kind of like, I got them all school year, you got them off school year, right?
Right.
We sharing the responsibility and the needs of this kid financially and time-wise, right? We are both
emotionally, psychologically, we sharing a lot of things.
Listen. And so when you start speaking to someone or dealing with a toxic baby mother or baby father, and they don't have nothing to really say about what the child is doing, or more so what the kid is doing, and they asking you where your significant other is,
that's
at
toxic.
The time,
that's toxic.
Kind of like, what?
Like, what that got to do with this?
I didn't ask you about. We not talking about this other person. We talking about your kid.
Right. This is what it is. This is about parenting.
Let's stay focused.
Please, eyes on the road.
They wasn't there when we was having them or when we was making them.
Correct.
So why the fuck you bringing that up right now?
Right. And to me, that's you said the word. It's toxic. It's like, why do that when, you know, us talking right now is only for the betterment of the kid. Because other than that, If I break up with you, I wouldn't even be talking to you.
Not at all.
Because when I break up with somebody, it's over. I mean, over. Like, there's nothing to talk about.
You ain't seen the ghost till you seen me.
Till you seen me. And when you saw me, I'm the ghost that ain't gonna speak.
That's the ghost that ain't speaking.
And I'm walking through walls. I'm walking through walls.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Gorilla said that so real. I heard that in her line, and I was like,
what she said?
You ain't seen a fucking ghost till you seen me. She a 2-time. Yeah. She got 2 baby fathers? No, she ain't got no kids. But the bottom line is,
she ain't got no kids?
She'll ghost you real quick.
Okay.
And act like she ain't never seen you.
I thought she had kids because she had the little baby in the
No.
Okay.
No. But okay, so are you denied things for your kids that you asking for, and then they asking you to go ask your partner? They kind of putting the responsibility on somebody else and telling you that they a package deal. You a package deal. When they met you and them kids, and they got to take care of you and the kids. Now, how does that work out?
If I feel like if a father or a mother is saying some shit like that, it's something seriously wrong with you. Because I, as a father, ain't trying to even see another nigga take care of mine.
Exactly.
Like, tell him he ain't got to do shit. I got this.
Nigga
don't even buy my daughter shit, because I'm going to fuck you and her up. Not my daughter, but the mother. So if somebody says that, like, yo, why he ain't doing that, then you just being a lame, bro. You being corny. Don't be corny. Don't be corny.
Cornball.
You being corny right now.
All the way.
That shit corny.
Cornfield. But see, the truth is, hurt people hurt people. So most people that do that, because then there's other women that be like, you know what, I'm out of here.
And then you can't see your kid no more.
And you're not seeing your kid. Like, what the fuck is that about? Why can't this man see his kid and spend time? Why is it about what you doing and what you not doing for that child in order for you to see them?
I'm on the fence with that one.
Oh, really?
Okay, I am. I don't believe a woman should keep a kid from a father.
Never.
But I do understand in a situation where if he's being super toxic about it and he's not trying to help, and it's just, why don't you tell that nigga and do this and do that? And it's always an argument. I could understand if somebody don't want to deal with that type of toxicity. Grow up and then come see your kid. Because only person you hurting is the kid. If the kid hear that, they gonna feel like they causing the issue.
So no. So one thing is true. A child will begin to realize who is the problem, who isn't when they get a certain age. But when you are dealing with someone who always makes it about who you're with and what you're doing, and you have to find other resources to keep that child in the other parent's life, whether it be the family member or the grandparent.
Right, you got to deal with the family.
So you got to deal with the family, and that was one of my questions.
Smart. I never thought about that.
No. I mean, because listen, I can tell you that I have had to deal with the other parents. Parent, because it's just no common ground, no in between, right? And there are a lot of people that have to deal with that. There are some people that don't even have a connection with the baby mother or their family, right? Or the baby father and their family. Right. So they're forced to deal with their kids regularly, ongoing, all the time. Which then, is something that you really are kind of forcing, or you trying to foster. Right? You fostering, or you're forcing somebody to deal with your kid or keep your kids involved in the other parent's family's life, so they know who their siblings are, so they know who their cousins are. Like, that is a toxic, very bad, no good situation, right? And you can tell how old I am, because I'm going back to the book Alexander, No Good, Very Bad. It's just, in no way, form, or fashion is conducive for you or that child for you to continue to reach out and say, hey, I'm dropping them off. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you have to, pack up some shit, ring the bell, and here they go.
Right.
And go on before they come down. I mean, you may have to stand there and watch whether or not the kid is received, because
you got to spend a little time.
Not even spending a little time, but you got to make sure that when you dropping that motherfucker off at the house,
that they being treated correctly,
that they're there and being received by the person that you're trying to drop them off to, because it'll be a situation. outside of dropping off if you don't make sure somebody's there to receive the kid, right? And you pull off. But when we talk about whether or not the kids are a package deal and someone is making sure that their kid is no longer their responsibility and it falls on someone else, when is it a good time or a bad time to put a person on child support?
I think a good time is this, right? When you know that he is financially able to help you and he's not.
Okay.
Because of who you're dealing with.
Okay.
Or because of you in general, not the kid. If he's not trying to help because of whatever reasons he got going on, some people have good reasons. Hey, look, I make this amount, my bills is this amount, I really can't help right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can do this, I can do other things. Okay. If someone is being, you know, if the communication is there, we talking, and I can't do this, but I can do that, that's one thing. But if a nigga financially set and he is ignoring you and your kids,
oh shit. So financially set,
but
or
not
stable. Yeah. The bottom line is this: I think that gifts, sneakers, outfits, birthdays, holidays is not a justified means of support. You know what I mean? It's just not.
I think it depends on the financial situation of the person. You got to think about what the person is, what the person is capable of, what they got available. You can't just say, oh, because you only doing it on these days, I'm gonna put you on child support. Okay. If the nigga can't afford it to do it every day or every month, or can only do it on those special days, you know,
special time.
Yeah, allow him to do that.
Okay.
But so, if you know he got it like that,
okay,
and he shitting.
So if you got a bum bitch, or you got a real bum ass baby father, bum ass nigga in your corner. You knew he was a bum before you got with him, and you laid down, and you let him motherfucking admit, you know what I mean? You and all of that, you know, emancipate.
Emancipate.
You let go and get going. You knew what you was getting into to begin with. So then at that point, then yeah, you knew you had a street hustler. You knew he ain't have the means to take care of your kid, and you was doing it. You was dumb, young, and now you full of cum, and you got this baby coming, right? So here we go.
Right.
Now he only giving out gifts. Now he only around on Christmas.
You can't be mad at that.
Oh man, listen. But that is not considered a means of support for a child. That isn't. Because in the eyes of the court, technically and truthfully, those are considered monetary gifts.
But if you know he can't afford it and he's still doing it,
okay,
it's like what you gonna take? So first of all, if you go to court for that, right? You still ain't gonna get shit if you ain't got it.
So this is what will happen, and I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna spit true facts to you ladies, and I'm gonna let you decide what you want to do, and men too, because men be looking for their baby mothers as well. I got a couple of friends that are raising their kids, and their baby mothers is just egg donors, and they just lost in the wind. They just having the best life ever, and these niggas is struggling to take care of these children. It ain't just men out here going through that. So if you got a baby father, he only got an income that meets his needs, but he gonna agree to give you $100 a week or $100 every other week, bitch, take it, and do what you can with it. Because the truth is, when you get the child support and he ain't got no job, and you go down and they force them to get on child support. This is in New York and some certain states. I know what it is in Georgia, but I know that you first gotta go and get your child. You gotta go and have them. The word is not coming to me.
Just describe it.
So the description of it here in Georgia is that you have to make sure that your child is that child's father.
You gotta get a blood test. Basically.
You gotta get a blood test. It's called something else. It's not called paternity test, but you have to make sure that your child's father is your child's father.
That's a paternity test. And I work for
Department of Children and Family Services, so I know the name of it, but it's not coming to me right now. I'm having a little brain fart.
Yeah, I hope they ain't watching.
The truth in the matter is, I wouldn't give a fuck.
I'm playing.
They can have all of that they got going. I can't deal. Right. But the bottom line is, you got to make sure that child father is labeled on the birth certificate in New York. Listen, you're married, that's legally the child's father, whether or not you busting shorty or not.
That's crazy.
And in New York,
y'all could do this.
You could.
Fuck that.
But if you are married to that young lady, that is actually your child, right? And she got pregnant by another man, that's your kid if you're legally still married to her. And then another thing is, whether or not you're legally the father in New York, is if you are in the hospital and Shorty just put you down as the baby father. And you got them documentations, and from birth, you were labeled on the birth certificate, you're legally that child's father. And then another way is...
So she could just write whoever she wants?
She could, until the child DNA...
has a paternity test.
A paternity test.
That's fucked up.
It is.
Fuck you bitches that's doing that.
And
to
then,
the wrong nigga.
If a nigga step up and say, this is my kid, and he take care of the child financially and takes responsibility of that kid for whatever amount of years, and then you go to court, they're legally that child's father in New York, and that is it. But in Georgia, you have to have your kid legitimized. Boom, 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 boom. This is when I needed the bomb to go. And you know how Flex go. He hit the bomb on that. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
You got to get your child legitimized. In Georgia, lady, if you do not,
that's a word.
It is a word, and it's real talk, because that is not your real baby father until the state of Georgia legitimizes your kid, so you can run behind him chasing and begging for funds all you like. If you didn't have a ceremony putting y'all in wedlock, and I'm gonna just say this: do not be having your kids out of wedlock, ladies. It's not look good. It's not ladylike, and yeah,
right.
I'm on that, because now you're not even gonna be able to lie about this one. It might be a Maury situation where you are not the father, and now you gotta prove it. And now you owe a nigga some motherfucking child support money. Because that's for real. If it ain't his kid, you gonna owe them.
What?
You gonna owe them.
The woman will owe the man?
The woman will owe the man if it's not his child.
I like that.
Just like the day that you go and file for child support for that kid, it could be a year later that they make a decision. In New York City, honey, you getting all like retro pay. Right? That back pay, how they call it. Nigga be fucked up. Like, damn, shit. A year ago? But yeah, gifts, outfits, Christmas, birthdays, Easter, monetary gifts, and time is not enough. And I'm going to just say that because the truth of the matter is the kids need you 24/7. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All the time. And does the baby father or the baby mother keep the gifts and the Pampers and whatever else you done bought when the kid go home? Go on with that shit.
Right.
Go on with that shit they gave you. Raggedy ass clothes. Toe up, toe down. I bought you this shit. This shit stay here.
Shit, if I buy it, it's gonna be at my house. You wear it when you get here.
See?
Send my kid over here with nothing.
You sounding toxic.
Send my kid over here with nothing. And
you sounding toxic.
Nah, I wouldn't be. I'm not even that type person. I'm just talking shit.
No, but there are women that will send their kids, and men that'll send their children with what the fuck they bought. And you know what I mean? Like, listen, you didn't come with that, so you're not going home with that. This is staying here. Yeah. And then guess what? You going to your father's house, so you just wear this old shit so he can buy you some new shit.
See, all that's fucked up, and it is toxic. It's like, for what? You know? And the thing is, you know, it's like, people don't understand, like, you could be, you know, on both sides. Mm-hmm. You could be being toxic like that. You could be hindering your kids and even your baby father or your baby mother from being able to help you.
Right.
Because you put them on child support. It's like some niggas that help you more than the child support. You know?
Now that you posed that question, it wasn't even on my list of things to talk about. If you want child support, and women are on child support too.
I know
Don't even make it only about men, because men are the highest rate of individuals on child support, but there are also men who have their baby mothers on child support or seeking to get child support for their kid because they don't know where the hell they at. Right. They want some help. They need some help. Right? How do you help around that? Do you feel like it's all right to help around child support? Because guess what? You might be getting $20 a week, because if they not working in New York City, they will force a nigga to go to work. They will revoke their license. They will imprison them. It will be jail time on the table for somebody that has not paid child support. The real talk. Now he getting released from jail. because he about to go into this work program, and the majority of his work money is going towards your child support and only towards his car fare. He not even working for wages. He working to pay child support, and his license is revoked, and whatever else
I ain't giving you shit after that. I ain't giving you shit.
Rich.
I'm not even giving you the benefit of the doubt. You can't get nothing from me.
Rich.
You couldn't get a hello. You couldn't get fucking justice. Nothing.
Yo,
you would get nothing from me.
Just do it, bitch, with all that.
Yeah,
like Nike.
fucked
you know
up.
what I'm saying? Like Nike, you gonna just do it with what you getting and what you got.
That's my thing, right? So the niggas that even niggas that make a good amount of money, right? And they taking 1,000 or more from these niggas a month, even 500, whatever. So you feel me? I ain't giving you shit outside of that.
It's a percentage of your income because they looking at both incomes. So so when they doing child support, you know, investigations, and they trying to determine who what gets who, right?
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to child support, right? Mm-hmm. So if you got joint custody, you still got to pay child support?
So joint custody goes this way. You pay this amount when you are with the baby father, and then you pay that amount when you are with the baby mother. You get what I'm saying?
So everybody's paying child support.
Everybody's paying child support to everybody, right? Ooh. So I have them 6 months of the year, and you are paying me child support, and then you have them, and I'm paying you child support the other 6 months of the year.
Yeah, I bet that. Right? I bet that'd keep a bitch quiet.
It would. And
oh no, baby, you ain't got it, baby. Let's not do this. Let's go to the court and stop this. Yeah, stop it.
So the real talk about it is most men don't want to sacrifice their time. They want to just continue to work and have the freedom of doing whatever it is that they want to do, and they subject their woman, their baby mother, to
having a baby.
All the time.
I'll take my daughter.
Right? Because listen. Let me say this, and this is one thing that I must say. How how you do better is when you're not bitter, you do better. You know what I mean? Like, just don't be bitter, do better. You know what I mean? You gotta that's just really my thing. You
gotta take your emotions out of it.
You gotta take your emotions out of the equation and realize that your kids are more important than what relationship you had or once had or want to have with your baby mother. Right. You can't get no ass no more than too bad. But guess what? Your kid needs you. They need you. And the only thing that really matters is what they need and how they excel and exceed in life. And so if you're making it about the other partner, what they're doing, where they're going, and everything that's happening in the kid's life is the parent that's raising them's fault. Listen, it ain't my fault that your kid is acting up because you're not in the home. You can still be actively involved in my child's life or in the child's life and be an influential force to them, allowing them to see that I'm supporting your mother. I'm supporting your father. No, you're wrong, and checking them where they're wrong. You can't side with your kid every time and then give them all these menus and avenues of things to say about the parent and expect them to still respect the parent.
Respect them, right.
It's not my fault that you are running away and you're not listening and you stealing and you... Sis, you gotta be able to blame the child when they're wrong and not the other parent, right? Because that is a toxic situation.
Yeah.
If everything that happens in the kid's life or everything that they're doing, they're misbehaving, falls on you, you kind of like, what does my past got to do with what the fuck this kid is doing right now?
Right.
How and why is that relevant right now? I'm just saying. I'm not there because you removed me. I'm not there because you won't let me see them.
Right, exactly.
Whose fault is that? Because I know one thing is for sure and two things for certain. The person that want to be involved in their kid's life is going to be there. They're going to make time. They're going to set a day. When they say they showing up, they showing the fuck up.
Yeah, but like you just said, it's sometimes where it's not even their choice. And a lot of these men out here don't know how to go to court. Like, I know niggas that took themselves to court because they wanted to have, you know, joint custody, because at the end of the day, you know, whoever they was dealing with wasn't trying to let them even see the kid.
And that happens. And when that happens, yes, fellas, take yourself down to the court. And I know
niggas
you feel
be afraid of that child support.
For what?
But they don't realize that you might not even be put on child support. It might just be a joint custody situation. Especially if especially if you bring this to the table. Y'all don't realize, man, if you when you get taken for child support, yeah, you gonna get railroaded maybe. But if you are the person who initiated as a father, saying, "Look, this woman won't let me in my kid's life, and I want to be in my kid's life," it turns out different for you.
And not even only so much that it turns out different. There are judges that look at both sides, and they don't always side with the mother, right? Those baby fathers that only see their children monetarily are those fathers that get the short end of the stick. But there are fathers that want to be actively involved and regularly there. They want to go to the daddy-daughter dances. They want to do brunch on Sundays. They want to take their kids shopping and even just spend time with them and let them do their nails and just wake up and see their kid every single day. Those fathers are the ones that need to go down to the court and say, hey, she's trying to bar me from seeing my kids. Visitation rights is a real thing. And I know one thing is for sure and two things are for certain. No judge can force a parent to see their kid. But if you're asking to see your kid, they're going to let you see your kid. They're going to set up those rights. They're going to put them in place. And I mean, I know a few people that work in the court who can actually chime in and let it be known that visitation is taken seriously. I've had to escort one of my homeboys into the precinct with the documentation to prove that the baby mother was violating the visitation order. And they was like, oh, hold up. We about to go with you to get this kid out the home. Because it's no way that a legal document is not going to be withheld by the courts or by authorities when you say, they were supposed to be home yesterday and they haven't come home. Or they were supposed to meet me over here to bring my kid and they didn't come. Judges don't take that too seriously. But the one thing is, you can move your child out of state. But
not in every state though.
But see, this is
every state don't allow that.
But see, this is the thing. You have to make sure that you are keeping that child in communication and contact with that other parent. There are some people who will move somewhere and then be like, well, I'm over here, and then what you gonna do?
No, that's like kidnapping.
It's international. What you thinking is international. So it is illegal to take your child out of the country without the authorization of the other parent. That's why you can't get a passport unless the other parent signs. There's ways around that shit, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I ain't gonna give up the tea. You know,
yeah, we ain't doing that.
I ain't giving up the tea on how to go around the laws.
Cause y'all bitches, for lack of better words. Because I ain't talking about the women. I'm talking about them that be on the funny
that will be on some bullshit. But the truth of the matter is, there's no reason why my kids shouldn't be able to travel and go out the country for a vacation because the fucking baby father don't want them to, and you don't want to sign for a passport because I ain't going. Why the fuck they can't go?
But the reason why that happens is because of the toxicity.
Well, because some people dump their kids and take them out the country and don't bring them back, right? Exactly. When you from another country and you take your kid out the country,
you got a Jamaican baby mother talking about, he's going to Jamaica. No, you ain't going to Jamaica.
Never come back?
Yeah, you ain't going to Jamaica.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you about to try to do.
Honduras or one of them countries.
You trying to take her to her grandmother and leave her?
And then leave her?
No, we ain't doing that. Because I'll come out there and I'll find you.
See, but then you got to deal with the
authorities.
The authorities is kind of real, like the embassy, and that's when all of that gets involved. But the truth in the matter is, if the child has a legal birth certificate, they would not be able to remain in the States, and they would have to bring that child back. Then that's when charges are brought about. But that's a toxic, terrible, no good, very bad situation. Mm-hmm. And if you're in that type of situation, then you need to be going out to the courts and let these people trying to sort it out so that ramifications can come about.
And that's bad that we got to do all that. That court shit is whack because once you get them involved, they involved. Yeah. It's like they daddy too now.
Listen, don't be bitter. Be better. You know what I mean?
I like that. Don't be bitter, be better.
Don't be bitter. Just be better. And the truth in the matter is, it only hurts the child to see you guys going back and forth. The one thing that I can say that's best if you are in a toxic situation with your baby mother or your baby father is to try to find a way to escape. I don't know if you're dealing with, the J-Lo situation.
How with J-Lo?
J-Lo had the movie. And it was like, you know what I mean? She was getting beat the fuck up. She was getting beat the fuck down. And
that situation. What happened with J-Lo? Something real?
Yeah, no. I mean, she's doing all right now. Jenny from the block. Free BX all day. She doing better in her relationship. She not being bitter. She, she letting her baby's father see her kids. And that's how you should be. You should be offering to let the father be in the kid's life. You should be trying to invite yourself to certain situations like the graduation and the birthday. If you missing birthdays,
yeah, pull up.
Why the fuck you not coming to my baby party?
I'm Kanye pulling up.
Nigga said I'm getting the house across the street and I'm watching everything that's happening. Cause fuckers you talking about, bitch, I can't see my kids.
Right.
I done slept and raised with them for the last fucking 5 years, 2 years. I watch her come out the poom poom. Now I can't even see him when I want to pull up.
I got some good shit to add to say now, right? Yeah, so why do women feel like they have ownership of the kid?
Now, I don't like that shit myself personally because it ain't my motherfucking kid. It ain't my motherfucking child.
Right.
It's y'all child. Y'all had it together. But then there's the women that deal with a baby father that only show up every once in a while to throw the little $200 sneakers in there. To throw the little...
yeah, I ain't talking about him.
Yeah, so that's when the woman is feeling like this is my motherfucking kid. Because when you're not there and I'm going through adverse situations, when I'm struggling and this kid done had surgery and this kid needs tuition paid and they got recitals and all kind of things going on and you're not there, now this is my motherfucking kid. Fuck you mean?
I get all that. That's that. I'm not fighting against that.
so that's what it is. And honestly, shared custody and shared visits is a fucking real thing. And that's when you realize that this is not just my child. Because daddy has a say and mommy should definitely be paying her way. Right? She should be there. She should be involved. Shout out to all the men. My heart goes out to a lot of men who deal with their children without their baby mother involved, whether she's near or far. Like, bitch, get up off your fucking... Get on your good foot, like Nikki would say.
Right, get on your good foot.
And do the best bad thing that you can do. Don't be somewhere out living your best life without your fucking child having you involved in their life regularly on a day-to-day or just checking in. Your kids should know what it's like for you to make meals and, just really get them dressed and have their other parent involved. It's a very hurtful thing. I mean, I like to keep the shit on me, and I ain't talking about me and my baby father situation, but I was raised without my mother. I was definitely a kid that didn't have my baby, my dad around all of the time because of his lifestyle. But, I mean, he was an influence in my life. My dad was there. He taught me how to fight. He called me Rocky because when it was a situation and he needed me to come outside, he was calling me to, shoot the 5 with somebody or just really always letting people know, like, that's my daughter. This is my kid. That's my daughter. So in the neighborhood, if you know me, you from 180th and East Tremont, Lambert Projects.
Oh shit! That's where you from?
I'm from up top.
180. I know that part, but 180.
We in Land Vegas out this shit.
Land Vegas.
You knew me as King's daughter. I got pulled out of fucking house parties. I got dragged across the fucking road. Cause hey,
by West Farms?
I'm right there in West Farms. Oh my gosh, the little beef with Lamb, the little West Farms, and definitely 800, and then Twin Parks, and all that way, all up that way.
That's crazy.
Everybody knew King, and everybody knew that I was King's daughter. So when I say that and I hashtag it, I mean it from the heart because that was how I was identified for a long time before they knew me as Quaisha. But then again, nobody knew my mother because she only came around on the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Oh, so you was with your dad?
I lived with my dad and his family, and that for me was a hurtful thing. So young ladies, you bitches out here, not with your fucking kids, go check in, tap in, go buy them a motherfucking quarter water. I don't even know if they sell them shits no more.
They
you know
do.
What I mean?
They just not a quarter no more.
They not quarter no more.
And you get them in a big pack, a big box.
Yeah, like I mean, all I can say is that when my mother came around, she was bearing gifts. She dug in her pocket. She dug in her titty. She had some shit for me and my sister every time. You know what I mean? Because she wasn't there all the time. So she wanted to make sure that she was trying to overcompensate and do what she could when she wasn't around at the time that she was there. But then there's women that can't even say they bought their kid a pair of sneakers. Can't even say that they, you know what I mean, been to a graduation or a birthday party. And you fellas, you need to shoot yourself in the fucking foot if you making your baby mother do all that shit by herself and you really putting it on her partner. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying shared custody is a vital thing, and you only hurting your kids. You know what I mean? By not being around. They need both parents, and
that's a fact.
Absent parents, raising your kid is a thing. You ever seen Antoine Fisher?
Of course.
The movie Antoine Fisher really speaks volumes. If I watch certain movies like that and I tap in with things and I make my kids sit down and watch certain shit, right? My Mother Stole Me, certain movies where someone else had to raise your kid and they became the most influential part of their life. And then if not, they was the person that tore your kid down the most.
Yeah, tormented them.
Made them feel like nobody loved them. Where's your fucking mammy? Where's your pappy? They don't care for you. You know what I mean? Like,
you ain't shit.
You ain't shit. And nobody loves you. And you not being there, you don't know what the fuck your kid is going through. You might be struggling with addiction. You might be in a domestic violence situation. You might have moved on with your life and started a family somewhere else. But you got to tap back in with that child that you gave birth to or that you fucking spit out. Because one thing about me, my father thought he was just getting the nut, and he really got a fucking nut when he made me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the definition of crazy, sexy, cool, and the realest fucking form of human. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, and I'm glad you said that, because that's the thing. Like, a lot of people will give their kids up, right? Because they can't take care of them, but don't want to interfere with the kid's life because they feel like the kid that moved on or grown up. But the thing is they don't know how important it is to still, even when you do get your shit together, to still tap in. Because these kids still need you. A lot of them need closure. They need to understand why you did that, so they could know it wasn't them.
It wasn't
because a lot of kids feel like it's them. Like, I wasn't good enough. Listen, you didn't like me. You didn't love me. You didn't want me.
Love. Kids need love, not materialistic shit. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of kids that are in care, and I'm a child care worker to the heart. I mean, I have a lot of titles. I do a lot of shit. If y'all know me, I'm like a fucking Jamaican woman. I do everything, you know. Bomba Clyde, big up to themselves. Big up yourself.
Big up on yourself.
Big up on yourself. You have to be able to do many different things.
Yeah.
For the most part, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of children in care, and the one thing that these children really run around thinking is that nobody loved them, or hearing that nobody cares, and they don't need anything but love. They don't need a new outfit, because a lot of women struggle to raise their kid. A lot of men struggle to give their kid everything. But all they really need is the love. You know what I mean? And if you can give love, don't wait to have a kid until you're financially stable if you don't have to. But if you have a kid, don't give them up thinking that I don't got the means, I don't have it. You can make everything look like a lot with a little bit. And shout out to them big families
take a lot.
That stretch shit, and they share clothes, and they share food, and they share spoons. Man,
share spoons?
No. You ever raised in a house where you got a lot of niggas is foot to fucking head laying in the bed? You done had pallets. We done laid where the fuck we fucking fell asleep at.
Listen, I was in a project. It was 9 of us in 3 bedrooms.
Well, in Lambert, we
had the girl room and the boy room.
So
you know what I'm saying?
In Lambert, we was a private development. We wasn't the projects, right? It was a little difference. We had the upstairs, downstairs duplex. But the truth in the matter is, a lot of us in those families, we had big families. We shared beds with our cousins. We shared food. And my grandmother was she was the neighborhood mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. to my grandmother. Happy heavenly birthday. Yesterday was her birthday. You know what I mean? And she has so many people that she's taken in and consider her grandma, auntie, mommy, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't just my grandmother. She was everybody's grandmother. You know what I mean? She was something to everybody that came in. People left their kids with her and knew that she would feed them and know that she would clothe them and that it was okay. And I think that that is what I've taken on. So I know that any kid around me is fucking straight. I'm not going to do anything to harm a kid. But that's just really what it takes. It takes a kid knowing that you love them and that they care about you. So all that toxic shit that you doing with your baby mother, you really hurting your kid.
Facts.
You're not hurting the
nobody
person.
Else. Yeah. You think you hurting the person that you trying to hurt, but you hurting the kid more than anything. Because that person don't give a fuck because they obviously moved on.
Yeah.
They just don't want to hear from you when they tired of you. But the kid wants both of y'all.
Or
but
they
can't
give a fuck
have both of y'all.
And they trying to hurt you by using your kid. Because there are women that use their
That's
kids
the
fucking hard.
Yeah.
That's a toxic situation.
Yeah, it is.
Why the fuck are you more concerned about how he dressing and where he going and what he doing and who he... Listen, Mom, it's over. It's over for you.
Yeah, let it go.
Let that kid go with their father. Let him introduce her to Susan, Sarah, Jenny, Jane, whoever the fuck she bringing around. Now, it ain't cool if your kid is meeting somebody every other day. Because these women be molesting kids too. And that's a whole nother topic we could talk about. You know what I mean? Because Antoine Fisher, just going back to that, he was raised by that family, the Tates. Mm-hmm. And he actually...
Can't you remember the name?
I watch that movie all the time. That's my go-to movie half the time. And I've made my kids sit down and watch it. I make them watch a lot of things to make them realize that...
So let me tell you your topic. He was raised by the Tates. Go ahead.
He was raised by the Tates. And the Tates, she beat him. She tormented him.
I remember that.
And then she also had a child who molested him and made him do things sexually that he wasn't comfortable doing. And he was a young man. There's not only just young ladies that go to these homes and get raped and foster care and have even they new husband or they new boyfriend. So close to home. Because niggas is weird nowadays. They will be grooming your fucking kid and giving them shit and doing shit and making them feel comfortable just so they could eventually have them sitting on their motherfucking lap. And there's a lot of incest babies out here. Just you know,
you gotta be careful who you have your kid around, man.
You definitely do, ladies.
Just because you love that nigga don't mean that you could trust that nigga.
Don't mean that you could trust him. And I know people now I know people who haven't had a relationship with another person because their child is who they're more concerned about, right? And it's very smart, it's very intelligent. And nowadays, if you're watching me and you're listening and you're wondering why I won't invite you to my house, I can't. Not another nigga near motherfucker know where I live or be around. Not a near motherfucker be knowing where I stay and lay and come up in my crib when my children are there, because I'm raising daughters. And kids are vulnerable in so many different ways to just the influence, the conduct that a person will bring in their character, right? Because then their temperament is now what they're teaching your child. Mm-hmm. They're grooming your kid and giving them things that you didn't want them to have. And now it's this secret. Ain't no fucking secrets in my house. My children have been taught from 2, at least as long as they could talk. At that bathing suit area, baby, then nobody should see you beyond that. And anything that somebody is telling you they're going to do to you to keep a secret from me is the one thing you want to come and tell me. Right. Because now I'm going to blow that nigga head off. I'm going to jail. Y'all going to see me on trial. Time to Kill is another movie. I refer to movies because movies normally depict a real life situation that has happened to somebody and that is continuously going on in society with these toxic relationships. So when you leaving your child, know that you're leaving them in a vulnerable situation, or you're leaving them susceptible to a lot of different things that the other partner is not aware of and is really trying to manage without you. But if you're there, you're that other person stepping in to help that kid when that other parent can or can't. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot to raise a kid. Now, I mean, here in Georgia, it's really gas, water, trash, light, right? It's so many layers of responsibility. And then we talk about clothes. And then food is not something that your kid gets free here in Georgia. And in so many other states, you got to pay for food. You got to pay for school lunch. If you're not on welfare and you're not getting public assistance, you're not getting free lunch. Your kid is hungry at school or waiting until they get back home. And who knows what that's like when they get home if the means are not provided for in that home and you the parent that's not helping. You're not offering any assistance because you're not with them, or you just give child support. Because sometimes it's not enough, or it's helping to just make the needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you toxic and you heard any of what we've said, you got to evaluate yourself. You got to sit down and just think about, does he do this? Does she do that? Are they denying you access to your kid and resources and just help? Are they spending quality time and not time around the holidays when the people think that it matters? Father's Day and Mother's Day is not the fucking national get my kid day and let's go out and let me be a father and let me be on the ground with my kid today. Bitch, if you don't go get that motherfucker every weekend or on the seasons that there's no school, because kids need their education. You shouldn't be trying to interfere with their schooling. But there are weekends and there are vacation times when your child should be with the other parent and spending time. And there's one thing that you do, and I don't even mean to put you out there, but you got a daddy-daughter day.
Facts. Yeah.
Because daddies need their daughters like daughters need their daddies.
That's a fact, yeah.
You know?
And that day is very important to her.
Listen. Nigga done say, listen, y'all, today is not the day. I am doing nothing today. Because my baby need me. And those children that have to go to these dances, and I have to just really be very much thankful and acknowledge those friends that I have that play a part in my kid's life. Those male figures that I frequently am around who are raising their kids or raising their children and are with me at times, and their father, my children's father, not being there, and they seeing these men with they kind of feeling like, damn, they missing out on something. Where's my dad? Where's my something? And work is not everything, ladies and gentlemen, because that job that you are employed by, the moment that you die, they're gonna fill your spot the next day. Promise you.
Yeah,
you are just as good as yesterday work. You are disposable. Don't put your work before you put your kids. You know what I mean? Like that's another thing that toxic people do. They don't even realize that they chasing the bag, but they chasing the body bag. Because you working hard and your kids are really missing the time. You can't get that shit back. Now they grow up, and there's a lot of famous NBA players, and I'm throwing people out there. I don't even want to say, you know, a lot of names, but LeBron James said he didn't see his fucking father. Like, his mother was the only parent in the home doing things and making shit happen.
Yeah.
Tupac got a song, Dear Mama, right? Because she was there just doing everything. Where the fuck was his father at? Jay-Z. Father passed away. He had to forgive him because he just left. And mother was doing everything. And so these people become successful. They become these people in life that are known publicly. And then where the fuck were you at? Now you standing around talking about, hey, son. What?
Yeah, nigga don't want to hear that, especially after all the time.
And you have to try to forgive that other parent during those times.
And that's when it comes into play where you kind of want to hear the excuse. Like, what was it? Was it my mother? You know, what was it? Like, was it financial? Were you locked up? Like, what was it? And what kind of excuse could you give me as a father or mother, whichever one it is, that you couldn't be in my life as a kid?
So parents,
and that you're around now that I'm a celebrity.
So parents later on do have to explain to their kids what happened and what didn't happen and why they wasn't present. Right. But then there's also the time when the kids realize who was the problem and who was really the productive person in their life. Right. There's also a time when men are incarcerated and they are still actively involved in their child's life.
Yeah.
Even though they're behind the wall, they're still writing and there's still visitation. But
then that still goes on to kind of both parents, because some mothers don't even want the kid to be communicating with somebody that's in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
like it still goes for both.
It's a lot of things that you have to explain when a person is incarcerated to the child. But the one thing you do want them to have is that constant communication and that contact. It behooves the child
yeah.
for them to not know even that maybe daddy is in school or mommy is away. Because kids do later ask that parent, where was you at for this amount of years of my life? And they hold that against the parent, because I have a couple of friends that had to leave their children and go to prison. And then they return, and that kid is kind of like resentful and holding it against that parent for not being there. But then while I was here, I was trying to bust a move and make shit happen, and they just caught a nigga. You know what I mean? They caught me. And that's another topic, because the things that we would do as a parent to provide, to be a single parent, what do you have to do to make ends meet so that your kids eat and that they continue to have...
That's a whole nother story.
It is. It's a whole nother topic. But there are women and there are men that do it. Niggas will go to jail. You get rich or die trying. 50 Cent said it, and I quote a lot of people, and I reference to a lot of movies, because it is said in these songs, it's depicted in these movies, and it's definitely something that you have to really show your kids that this ain't only our story. It is happening to people. We not going to be the first, and we are definitely not going to be the last motherfuckers to struggle.
Right.
And there's nothing that you can do more for your kid than to love them and pour into them.
That's a big fact.
So if you're being toxic or you're dealing with a toxic situation, you got to find your ways, your means to kind of not take it personal and to continue to give to your kid and be there for your child. It may take a lot of time, a lot of growth, but when you know better, you do better. Don't be bitter, be better. You know what I mean? And that's just really my saying for this topic and for this episode of Real Talk Radio on the Black Ink Station. And I really hope that y'all listening and y'all paying attention. And I don't know anybody. I mean, I could check the comments. I ain't see no comments come in. I ain't see nobody, try to join and even add their 2 cents to this conversation. But you definitely are welcome. We're gonna be here every Thursday, 9 o'clock-ish. You know what I mean? And because we be on Black people time, and colored folks, they always got a reason why they late. And I know that I be working like 5 jobs, y'all. You know what I mean?
Shit, better late than never.
Better late than never.
I mean, she said it best, man. Listen, I know a lot of people ain't much to say after what we said, because we said a lot. Yeah. The thing is, you got to realize that, you can't be so selfish, man. Like, you're raising a kid. You got to realize what you went through as a person, how it affected you, and try not to pass that on. Like, if your life wasn't so good because of whatever, don't try to, pass that on to the kid by being toxic because of who you chose to lay down with.
You got to break.
You know what I'm saying? Break that shit and generate you fucking curses.
Yes,
and make it about the kid when it comes to somebody that you're not dealing with anymore.
Yeah.
If y'all not together and y'all not dealing with each other, make it about the kid and leave with that person. Leave that other shit out.
You give that conversation just as much energy as it needs to. What happened with the kid? What's going on? And your 2 cents and what you feel. Because I can promise you this: ain't nothing that I could care less about what's happening over there.
Right.
But my children need their goddamn daddy. Right? And I'm not going to give that responsibility to somebody else so long as he's alive. Because the truth in the matter is, you didn't make this kid, and you're not going to be there forever. You might step off on me and leave, but guess what? That man is still those children's father.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And their opinion and what they have to say matters. And so if ever you were dealing with somebody who was fucking toxic and telling you go call Tyrone or go, you know what I mean? Tell Quartisha to because I'm gonna use my name a little bit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Ishas out there, and if you got an Isha in your life and you don't give a fuck about her no more, just know that your child is somewhere watching her cry and struggle and
Yeah,
go
think
through
about your kid,
things
man.
that you can't even help with because you're not even around and you're not even present.
The kids are our future. Remember that. That's the future.
Ooh,
Stop thinking about yourself, because these kids now.
No respect. There's no way that my neighbor was able to whip my ass and not tell my mother after she whipped my ass. I mean, my father, you couldn't explain that shit to him. But you could tell my grandmother that you rung me up. And I call her over here and my grandmother right behind you. You know what I mean? Because I was raised by a village of people that always ran and told my grandmother.
My village was the project.
Yeah. And I had neighbors
shout out to
looking
Miss
after me.
Rodriguez, yo. You know, shout out to Miss Rodriguez. Shout out to Jimmy and them upstairs. Shout out to the Perez's next door. Shout out to fucking you know, all my neighbors was able to you know, keep me in check. Yeah, and that was beautiful because it made me who I am today. So stop being those young ass parents. Don't say nothing to my kid. You come tell me. They ain't got time to tell you.
No.
Because you ain't there.
That's
your kid outside by itself, somebody gotta check that motherfucker.
You know, that's
and let it be the people around you, or move somewhere where you trust the people, because that shit whack when the neighbors can't chime in as long as they don't violate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my grandmother was Mother Hill, and I was on the neighborhood watch fucking King's Daughter. You know what I mean? So it was mostly the drug dealers and the street pushers outside running to my pops or running me back upstairs. But the truth of the matter is, if I was somewhere I didn't need to be, the word got back. The word got back, and you couldn't beat me, but you definitely could tell me about myself and put me in line, and then
and threaten to tell King, and your ass gonna run home.
Yeah, and then I ran home like, oh no. But the thing is, the freedoms that I had as a child, I try to offer to my kids so that they're not feeling restricted and they get the love that they need. And I'm being transparent with them because, again, I wasn't the perfect kid, but I didn't have my parents. So I try to make sure that I'm the parent that's present and that my other absent parent is involved. And that's just really what matters. That toxic shit, it ain't gonna get nowhere. You're not gonna get nowhere with that. Your kids is not gonna be nowhere. They're gonna be somewhere looking at the other parent a type of way. And you should allow your child to learn about that other parent on their own and develop their own decision about their own relationship and their own opinion of what that person is to them and what they isn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's some parents that ain't shit. And if you don't never say that around your kid, one day,
or they'll find out on their own.
They will find out on their own and start to realize,
but and this is another thing, right? Some people ain't shit in a relationship, but they great parents.
Oh.
So just because a nigga or woman
don't care about you,
ain't good to you, don't mean they're not gonna be great to their kid. So like she said, a lot of kids that develop their own, you know, opinion of what that person is to them.
Right.
And they're going to see what they are to you. They'll see all of that because kids ain't stupid.
Right.
These kids are actually smarter than adults. They know what the hell's going on.
They really are. And they pay attention. And they will eventually defend you when it needs to happen.
Exactly.
And they'll step in and they'll say, hey, nah, but listen, my mother's over there. And then truthfully, you think you about to step in when the kid made it to success and put your hand out, and they gonna tell you like, fuck
out of here.
You wasn't at none of my games. You wasn't at none of my recitals.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. Real talk. I appreciate the time and I appreciate your comments. And just being here. Shout out to the boss. I'm always gonna big up to him.
Shout out to Steve, bro.
Yeah.
You know we do this for you, bro.
We only doing it for you. We trying to make you go up and keep it going up. Truth in the matter is, it wouldn't be a Black Ink anywhere without you,
big man. Wouldn't be a Black Ink Radio. Wouldn't be a Black Ink anything without Caesar. So shout out to Caesar for sure. You know that's the bro. You know what I'm saying? Always my brother. And you know, listen, it's up from here.
Yeah, next week and every Thursday. About 9-ish, tune in. We also are going to be streaming live on the platforms that we have, but you can go to YouTube and check out the Black Ink Radio.
Facts.
The link is going to be in the bio eventually. I'll put it up.
Yeah, that's it. We like to tell you we appreciate y'all coming. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused. You know what I mean? And
don't be toxic.
Yeah, don't be toxic.
Don't be bitter, be better. You understand?
Don't be bitter, be better.